To operate in the society, if you're ignorant, you need rules. If you're inquisitive and sensible, you need science. Health is science, it is not just rules. We derive the rules based on science. Namaskar, they call me Vijay Sridhara, and I am once again back with one more episode on my podcast, Life Insights. This time I am trying to talk about wholesome health. It is of no use if we understand health in a very fragmented way. One time somebody talks about food, the other time somebody talks about sleep. But what are all the factors that help health or create ill health? I call this Arogya Chaturasra. Arogya means health, Chaturasra means square. It is a square of health. The four vertices of a square are four factors that affect our health. Number one is food. What we ingest in the name of solid, liquid, and semi solid items as food, they affect our health adversely or positively. Human beings need food subjectively. Not everybody can be prescribed the same food. Based on the kind of work you do, you have to choose your food. If I am a bodybuilder, I will have to eat certain kind of food. If I am a scientist, I will have to eat another kind of food because it has to facilitate my mind or body as the case may be. Similarly, if I am a very hard worker, then I need to take certain kind of food. If I am just doing a clerical job, then I need to take a certain kind of food. Of late, humanity has become slaves to taste buds. They have become slaves to tongue. So everybody is eating everything. That is going to create problems because tongue is the enemy of health. Tongue is the enemy of stomach. You can have what you like once in a while, but not every day in, day out. I often tell people, make your right foods tastier. If not, eat tasteless right foods. The key word is right food. Just for the sake of taste, don't get into wrong foods. Because whatever wrong food you consume, it may be tastier for your tongue, but it will be ugly for your stomach. It will be ugly for your health. And you think that once it is inside, everything is fine. No, it will have its own consequence. You just have to face it. When and where, time will decide. Number two is exercise. Human body has more than 200 joints. Every joint is supposed to move. If you are just sitting idle or just moving a subset of these joints, few of these joints, not all of these joints, the joints become jammed. If you look at a door in your house, if the door is not opened for a while, maybe for a couple of years, what will happen to the hinges? The hinges will get stuck. They will be blocked. They will be rusted. They will not move. When you try to move, the joints or the hinges will break down. Similar thing happens with our body. Whatever we consume, first thing, whatever we consume has to be burnt out as work, either physical work or sports or exercising. It has to be burnt out to keep everything, the muscles stronger, to get endurance, to get strength. Also to pump the blood to every corner of your body, which makes those cells at the remotest location in your body healthier each day, refreshed, revitalized. So blood pumping is very much necessary, for which you need to do exercise. Apart from that, your joints have to be in constant motion at least for some time each day. So that is called a repetitive motion. Not just swinging around for a minute and say done. Exercise is nothing but repetitive motion of joints. This can be accomplished by going to an instructor or a gym to perform the exercise, or you can do household chores, or you can be in sports. In any of these methods, you can achieve the benefit of exercise. Now you have to repeat the joint motion. With that joint motion repetition, you make your muscles stronger because the muscles are repetitively moving, and you make your joints flexible. Your joints will be lubricated. Whatever blood vessels, whatever nerves are going around the joints, will be always in active state. That means blood supply is there, constantly rich blood supply. So anything that is damaged is pulled back and new things are replaced. So that way exercise helps you. It helps you in n number of ways. It helps you in joint flexibility, it helps you in muscle flexibility, strength, stamina and endurance. It also makes every cell revive, revitalize and look young. You get a toned physique with exercise. It need not be just going to gym and hitting the gym every day in day out. It could be as simple as doing some work at home, washing the clothes. You don't have to put all the clothes into the washing machine. Every once in a while go and wash your clothes. What is the problem? You're physically working out. Mopping the house, it's very important, or dusting the house. So all these repetitive actions offer you physical exercise. Number 3 is mental health. A great percentage of world population is suffering mental problems. Believe it or not, everybody is suffering. Though they show smiling faces on Instagram, Facebook and many other social media, inside they are suffering. This suffering is because of various reasons. Every external reason for our suffering may be justified, but internally if we are creating our own suffering, it is not. Even for external suffering, unless it is physical, we need not suffer. We just have to understand how life works. Then, even if pain is there, suffering can be optional. It can be pushed away. Unless we are looking for pity from somebody, we need not suffer. The sooner we get up from the point of fall, the sooner we can resume our work. It could be stress, it could be depression, it could be anger, it could be fear, or it could be just acceptance, lack of acceptance among people, or it could be rejection, or it could be a failure, or it could be a comparison with somebody else that they are not up to them, their level. So all of these things, the mental problems are innumerable. Each of them have to be subjectively addressed. So this podcast is not the right platform to discuss the mental problems, but you need a peaceful mind for your health to happen, because every emotion that you create in yourself will create a certain micrograms of chemicals in you. Those chemicals will either give you exuberant nature, joy, or stress or depression. It is because of the chemistry inside your brain that you feel those emotions. So if you can master your mind to keep it calm always, I tell people that you must have a discretionary layer between the logical part of your mind and the emotional part of your mind, or I would say the brain and the heart. You can work with emotion that will give you a cherishable moment in your life, but don't take everything inside with emotion. Discriminate every thought. If somebody says something, you look at it from a logical perspective, not with an emotional perspective. If emotion comes into play, you're damaging your life mostly, because not everything is happening around us the way we want it. So most often we are upset than we are happy. So it is very important when we look at every situation, every person that we talk to, first of all, let the thought or word pass through our discretionary layer, whether it has to be treated logically or it has to be emoted. Only then you emote if required. That is when you will have a peaceful mind. So that is the third one. Number 4 is sleep. Sleep is very important and it is very subjective. Not everybody can be prescribed the same amount of sleep. Again, depending on the nature of the work and the nature of your mind at that point in time, sleep may be required. But on an average, people sleep from around 5 hours to 8 hours. It depends on what kind of work you have done on that specific day and what kind of body are you carrying, how much mental stress are you carrying. So all of this put together, you need a certain amount of sleep. If you can't sleep peacefully, then your health is affected, because sleep is the time where your cells recover, they get refreshed, all your mind will be cleared, or the cache or the conscious memory of your mind is cleared, pushed into the back layers, and you will wake up with a fresh mind after a good night's sleep. If you did not have a good night's sleep, you will carry the same old irritations, frustrations on the next day as well. So it is very important for us to have a good night's sleep. So these four factors in all, food, exercise, peaceful mind and sleep put together, they make Arogya Chaturasra, which is the square of health. This is a square because if you disturb one vertex, others are also disturbed. It will not remain square. Similarly, in Arogya Chaturasra, if you disturb one factor, other three factors will be disturbed. It is very important to keep these four factors in balance, not to disturb significantly any of the four of these factors. Why do I say significantly? Because people cannot live in a disciplined way day in and day out. They will jump the line one day or the other. So at least if majority of your time in life, if you can stay disciplined, stick to the norms, balance your four factors that I am talking about, your life will be very healthy. At least 80 to 90% you will be out of all your health issues that are not genetically driven, that are not driven by your place, that is Kshetra. Now, I will not forget to say, it should not be actually called Arogya Chaturasra. It is a pyramid of health. It is 5 points. The fifth point is Kshetra. Kshetra means place, the place where you live. Unfortunately, it is not in our control because of the work we do or the jobs we do. If you are living near a very polluted place, obviously the bottleneck for your health is the place. No matter what you do, how many hours you sleep, how much peace you have in your mind, whatever good food you eat, still, even if you exercise a lot, still, your health is more determined by the Kshetra, the place where you live. Since that is not in our control, let's only look at the four aspects. But Kshetra should not be ignored. If you are living near a hell kind of place, please come out of that place. That is very important. Relatively less polluted, relatively healthy place you should live. That is the fifth point, which we often ignore, but it is very important for our health. Most often children suffer from allergies, though the elders are not suffering from allergies. The allergies are because of the Kshetra, the place where you live in. There may be pollens, there may be allergic trees, or the air itself is containing a lot of allergens. So that's why children suffer from allergies, though parents do not, because parents' immunity level may be high, but children may not have so much immunity. That's why they suffer allergies in certain kind of places. So it is very important to live in a very healthy place, if not relatively healthy place, which is called the fifth point, the Kshetra. Otherwise, if you take care of the 4 points of Arogya Chaturasra, which are food, exercise, peace of mind and sleep, then your health is 90% guaranteed. The remaining 10% may be directed by your genetics, may be directed by your Kshetra you live in, or it could also be because of your past, the karma, which means during your childhood you may not have eaten well, you may not have slept well, you may have suffered from allergies. So all your energy went into recovering your body, keeping the body in safe mode for a very long time. So this kind of condition will haunt you. To some extent we can fix it, but not all of it. So these three things can be managed, and any accidental happenings, infections, etc., that may occur. Otherwise, your health is assured. About 80 to 90% it will go well if you follow Arogya Chaturasra. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Signing off, this is Vijay Sridhara.